Hello, and welcome to PvP In-Depth, Episode 3. In this episode, we're going to be looking at the Protection enchantment and how the damage reduction is calculated. An item's enchantability is how easily it picks up multiple enchantments and the extent of each enchantment level. The chart shown actually compares the different levels of enchantability in relative comparison to the other item types. So for example, as we can see in this chart, gold has the highest enchantability level, which is why quite often you'll see gold having multiple enchantments and at higher levels at lower XP levels of enchanting. So now we're actually moving on to the actual protection enchantment, and this is where it starts to get a little bit complicated. So I've actually decided to have two sort of summaries. One is more advanced and one is simplified. So we're going to start with the simplified summary. And to start with, I just want to say that enchantments from different pieces of armor do actually stack. So if you have 4 pieces of protection 4 armor on, obviously your helmet, chestplate, boots and leggings, they will stack together to give a maximum damage reduction of 80%. Protection protects from all damage types, including fire, blast and projectile protection. However, this does not include fall damage. It does protect you from fire blast and does provide projectile protection, but it does give lower resistance multipliers than having these specific protection types. So those of you brave enough to stick around for the advanced summary, we're going to be looking at EPF, which is an abbreviation for Enchantment Protection Factor. The EPF is used when calculating the amount of damage reduction per hit. In this video we're going to be looking at Protection 4 as an enchantment example. So for this general formula we're simply going to substitute the level as 4 and the type modifier as 0.75, as that's relevant for the Protection enchantment. I understand the calculations are moving across your screen pretty quickly, so feel free to pause where you feel appropriate. The final answer is actually rounded down to the nearest whole number. Okay, so now I've completed the first step. You'll be glad to know that was actually the hardest step. The rest of this is simple addition, and that's basically it. So you get 5 EPF points per item of P4, as we just calculated. So if you add that to all 4 items in one set of armor, you get a total of 20 EPF. Now the EPF value, the total EPF value, is then multiplied by 0.5 to 1.0 at random, so it can be any value between 0.5 and 1.0. Therefore, the maximum protection for EPF is 20 and the minimum EPF is 10. To calculate the total damage reduction, you multiply the total EPF value by 4%. So finally, this gives a minimum damage reduction with Protection 4 of 40% and a maximum damage reduction with Protection 4 of 80%. The fact that this calculation occurs at every single hit, and imagine how many hits occur during one single fight, even in the 1v1 arena, that's a lot of hits. And that also means that there's a lot of luck involved in the fight. So just bear that in mind next time someone beats you and starts slagging you off. Thanks for watching as always. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Also subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. Cheers guys.
Somebody should have told you I'm